These are your guided notes for lesson 5.4, solving proportions. We'll look at two different methods for solving proportions. Your I can statement will be I can solve proportions using the multiplication property of equality and cross products property. I can solve proportions using the multiplication property of equality and cross products property. So method 1, the multiplication property of equality. Method 2, cross products, which we've already discussed a little bit, the cross products property. So first we'll look at method 1, multiplication property of equality. You see the steps there. Step 1, we talked about drawing a line down the equal sign so that you can see left side and right side. The idea is to get x by itself by doing the opposite operation, which in this case is going to be multiplying. And step 3, whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other. So if we look at example number 1, we have 5 over 7 is equal to something over 21. So we're trying to find what x is so that those two fractions are equal, and that would form a proportion, two fractions that are equivalent. So if we look at the right side of the equation, x is being divided by 21, and just like we've practiced all year, to get x by itself, you do it the opposite of what's being done to it. So if x is being multiplied by 21, or divided by 21, the opposite would be to multiply by 21, and we would do that to both sides. So what you have on the right side is x over 21 times 21 over 21, and if you multiply straight across, you would get 21x on top, and 21 times 21 is 21, and then 21 divided by 21 is 1, so those cancel each other out, leaving you with x on the right side all by itself. On the left side, you have the fraction 5/7, and you're multiplying that times 21. So we have 5 over 7 times 21 over 1. So when you multiply fractions, of course, you're allowed to cross factor. So 5 and 1, there's nothing other than 1 that divides those. But 7 and 21, 7 divides itself once and divides 21 3 times. And then we multiply straight across, and we would get 15 over 1, which simplifies to just 15. So our answer there is 15. So what we are saying when we solve that is that 5 over 7 is equivalent to 15 over 21. That those ratios are equivalent. So that's how you solve a proportion with a missing value using the multiplication property of equality. We can look at a second example of that, where you have w over 6 equals 6 over 9. So again, w is being divided by 6, so we would multiply both sides by 6. These 6's cancel, so w is by itself. And then you have 6 over 9 times 6 over 1. Do your cross factoring. 3 divides 6 twice and 9 3 times. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3. And then simplify that fraction. 12 over 3 equals 4. So we get w equals 4. Now we'll look at the cross products property, which we have used in previous lessons before. So x over 8 equals 7 over 10. So the cross products, we know that x times 10 has to equal 8 times 7. If those two fractions are equal, their cross products are the same. So we just do that multiplying. X times 10 would give us 10x. And that has to equal 8 times 7, which is 56. And now you just solve for x using algebra. So x is being multiplied by 10, so the opposite is to divide both sides by 10. The 10's cancel, x is by itself, and 56 divided by 10 is 5.6. So our answer is 5.6. So we're saying that 5.6 over 8 equals 7 over 10. Those fractions are equivalent. Look at one more example with the cross products. We have 2 over 7 equals x over 28. So again, we'll do our cross multiplying. I always multiply the x and its number first. so that it's on the left side. So x times 7 would give us 7x, and that has to equal 2 times 28, which is 56. So we have 7x equals 56. I want to get 7 by itself, or x by itself. X is being multiplied by 7, so I divide both sides by 7. The 7's cancel, x is by itself, and x equals 8. So we're saying that 2 over 7 equals 8 over 28. All right, so you have two different methods. You need to know how to solve a proportion using each of those two methods. So you've got 5 problems to try on your own.